Howdy there, Delco. We have a spicy little episode for you tonight. We've got Christian from the band Berserker tonight, and this is not just going to be a typical, interviewing a band, interviewing a musician thing. He's got a hell of a life story, strong ties to Delco, and some major upcoming events, including one we'll be part of. Actually, we'll probably be part of both of them in some way, shape, or form. Christian, how you doing tonight?
Living the dream, man.
That's
Living the dream.
spirit. Where are you from originally?
Well, I was actually born in Texas.
Okay.
But when I was really little, my parents moved here. My parents are from here, and I grew up in Drexel Hill. I went to Hillcrest, Drexel Middle School, and Upper Darby High School. So
hell yeah.
Now I live in Springfield.
Oh, moving on up.
Yeah.
Maybe so, yeah.
We were planning on basically just talking about, the band and everything you guys were doing, but you just dropped a nice little tidbit on us. I assume after Upper Darby, did you join the armed services?
Yeah, well, I did what everyone in Delco does. I went to Delaware County Community College for like a semester.
Yeah.
And it didn't work
Oh, not
out.
7 years. You get your doctorate there?
No, I didn't get to go to 7 years. No, but then I did join the military, and I was gone for about 15 years. And
Which branch?
Air Force.
Good for you.
And then I moved.
So you were a smart one in Upper Darby.
Maybe.
Isn't the Air Force where the smart ones go?
Well, we have to have the highest ASVAB score.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that is true. My wife is actually in the Air Force now. She's been in about 11 years, I believe. So.
And living in this area?
Yeah, she goes to McGuire Air Force Base, but she lives in Springfield.
Holy shit. Is that like a daily commute or?
No, she also works for the VA. So she has two jobs. So she goes back and forth, but she works a lot. So yeah.
And you were, just from knowing what your profession is now, you were not a pilot. You went a different route in the Air Force.
Medical. It was a medical.
Were you like a flight surgeon or whatever they call that?
No. I didn't have college at the time I was in the military.
Gotcha.
I did not very excited. I did health administration. So
boy.
But I did have to wear the mop gear with the gas masks and all that stuff. And we
do that too when Holbrook's around.
Yeah.
Had your certain hangovers.
I don't know if you know, but when you wear the whole suit, it has charcoal on the inside of it. So you get
to stop it from smelling.
What's that?
To stop it from smelling?
No, it helps with
filtering
stuff out and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, because I know they make underwear with charcoal in it, so your farts don't smell.
That's not charcoal, dude.
Oh, that's what
I've never heard of that, but that's
skid marks
very
on
interesting.
Charcoal.
Yeah, so they used to be a pain in the ass to wear it because when you were finished with them, you'd have black all over you, and it was disgusting.
Oh, so it's in there. It's not lined with it. It's in there.
Yeah, it's it's disgusting.
Gotcha.
Man. But don't have to worry about that anymore.
So did you get shipped overseas and all that?
I'm an OEF veteran, which is Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Endori Freedom, which is Iraq and Afghanistan.
Wow.
But I actually didn't serve overseas myself, so it's not really that.
Did you get sent to Ramstein Air Force Base or something?
No, I was all in the United States. I was in Texas at Shepherd and Lackland, which is San Antonio.
Yeah.
And then I was also in. I spent a majority of my time at Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana.
Deal with a lot of people coming back to.
Well, actually, it's kind of interesting. So if you watch, if you ever watched Iraq and Afghanistan, when Iraq, especially on the news, when you saw the bombs being dropped, and they had it was the nighttime, and they showed all the bombs being dropped when the war started. Well, every single bomb, every plane that flew over came from my base. So
they flew out of Louisiana, flew all the way over and wrapped around.
Well, they fly to a place off the coast of Japan called Guam.
Yeah.
So they fly there and they get refueled and loaded with weapons, and then they fly over in the Middle East and bomb and come back, and that's how it works.
So were those the B-52s and the B-2s and the B-1s?
They're just the B-52s.
Just
every single plane was a B-52.
That's wild. So they wake up and basically they're just flying around the entire world today, striking and coming back.
Yeah, it's just nonstop, and those B-52s are old too, man. They were built
from the 50s, right?
Yeah, they built them, during the Korean War and Vietnam War,
and they plan on them lasting another 25 years.
They still use them. What they do is really the whole shell is the same, but they keep upgrading
the electronics,
the inside, electronics, and everything. But yeah,
how long does it take to fly from there to?
28 hours round trip.
Yeah, it's 30
but is
hours.
It faster than I'm guessing faster than a normal plane then? Because
it's faster in that you don't follow the traditional flight paths you would if you were a commercial.
It's a smaller plane, so they probably carry a little faster, right?
No, they're big.
They're huge.
They're huge.
Okay.
They're big planes.
So I always wondered that. So I know that Guam, they have the stealth bombers if need be right now. But why are there no B-52s? Why do they always have to take out of America first and then go over there?
Well, B-52s are a very specific plane that require very specific expertise, mechanics, bomb loaders, things like that. And there's only two bases.
Load masters,
there's
they
o-
call it,
ground
whatever.
crews.
there's
like the
only
most
two
important.
bases out there that are B-52s.
Holy shit!
Minot, North Dakota, and Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana.
So they put them right in the middle of the country.
Pretty much.
I guess
right in the
if
the
we need
two.
to fight right or left.
So you got Barksdale Air Force Base, which is like 110 degrees every day, and you got Minot, North Dakota, which
Negative
has
30.
like 30 inches of snow every day. So you pretty much, that's how it
Yeah,
goes.
I always wonder why the main Air Force ones were in the middle of the country. Like, 'cause there's a couple in Missouri and all that shit too.
There's a bunch of good bases around here. At the base I was in, Barksdale, we were never allowed to confirm nor deny that we had, stealth bombers,
Yeah.
nuclear weapons, things like that. But I will tell you that all the nuclear personnel worked on base. So I mean, you can do
Put
this.
two and
You
two
can
together.
deduce.
You can
what-
deduce-
Yeah.
deduce what's going on. But yeah, after that, I've been at the VA now for almost 18 years. 18 years
18?
in May.
Dude, good for you, and thank you for your service and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I work for the suicide prevention program. now.
That's a rough
So,
one, especially
What got you
in the
into
last
that?
20 years.
Really, what got me into it was, my passion was really prosthetics for a long time. I saw patients did like medial and loader braces, things like that, help the older veterans get around, cars, wheelchairs, things like that. But then this was just, to be honest with you, I liked the job a lot, but the reason why I took the job was because it was more money and I work from home 100% of the time. So,
100%. Wow.
I mean, I'm not trying to be,
No,
when,
no, I'm not
when
asking that.
when they offered me the job, I was like, well,
Still
hell
something
yeah.
like, listen, all the money, there's certain jobs that all the money in the world doesn't make things always better. You know what I mean? Like that, it's still difficult. I mean, gotta emotionally be rough on you.
Well, it's
let
not.
alone just the people you're dealing with.
Well, I know this is going to sound really cliche.
Mhm.
I know, whatever, but I believe that veterans are the most important demographic in this country. I mean,
I don't think it's cliche at all.
they sign their lives away on a dotted line. Doesn't matter if it was for 6 months or 40 years to protect us and defend us.
We love the USA here.
Yeah,
I have
well,
the
hey.
American flag tattooed on both fucking
Why do you think
Well,
I
there
have
you
the
go.
American flag right
I see you
behind
got it
you
right
the whole-
behind me. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I tried to join
Planning
the Air
that
Force.
out.
I tried to join the Air Force when I was 18, and the recruiter told me that I was too fat, stupid, and blind. And that was very rude because he really only needed to say one of those reasons. He didn't need to give me all three.
You're like, he stopped at 3.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna give this guy 3. I think he really.
And then
needs to
they
hear
were
this.
just like, you're in the 4-year span, you're not going to be flying a fucking plane. I was like, oh, geez, I'm not going to lose this weight then.
I'm not flying a plane. I'm not losing the weight.
Yeah.
Make a deal with you. But
sometimes I kind of regret a couple things a little bit, but then my life wouldn't have turned out the way it was. When I started, I got a very high ASVAB score, and when I was going through the METs, they call it, where you
Yeah.
go to get you transition into the Air Force, and you have to take all your tests and everything. They brought me into a back room, and it was just me and a couple guys, and they said that they wanted to know if I was interested in doing military intelligence. But then I would have to leave for 2 years for training overseas, and I couldn't tell anybody what I was doing or where I was. And at the time, I had a girlfriend that I was dating, Delco girlfriend, of course, and I decided not
now
to
he's
do it.
regretting it.
I decided not to do it. So that's one thing. And then another thing was I got my orders, and I got them for Alviano, Italy,
Mhm.
to go to Alviano, Italy, and I traded them for Barksdale Air Force Base, LA, because I wanted to stay in the United States. And little did I know that LA was Louisiana, not Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I was 19 years old. I was
So you
dumb.
had the highest intelligence score, but you didn't know that LA was Los
Was
Angeles.
that?
Well,
Wait,
You
wasn't
didn't know
that
that
a
LA
scene?
was a city.
Wait, wasn't that a scene from Tommy Boy when he was
Yeah.
trying to fix the shipping problems? See,
Yeah.
there's 2 little letters right there next to the city. That's the state.
Well, well, it says
Go
like,
to Hollywood.
on the orders,
Straight
it
to
says
rural
Barksdale
Louisiana.
Air Force Base, LA. So
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, I was 19. Who knows
Yeah,
what the hell
yeah.
I was thinking? But
But, hey, guys, this guy thinks he's going to Hollywood.
Did you? This is an obscure fucking question. Did you subliminally think that you were being sent to the Air Force Base from Independence Day in Los Angeles?
no, but I love that movie though.
I know. 'Cause I was, as soon as you said Barksdale, I'm like, isn't
Is that a
from
real
Independence
place,
Day?
though? That one in?
They called it El Toro, but I thought it was like there was a real one called like Barksdale, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's the fucking
Nah,
one.
they
That's
they
one
ended up
movie.
going to Area 51. Remember
Yeah.
that? Was that?
Yeah.
But he was stationed in LA at the beginning.
Yeah, El
He
Toro.
kept it
Isn't
Steve
Area
Right.
51 like now opened or something, or they have like more information?
It's not open, but there's been people that sneak in all the time or something. Who knows?
I know there's like YouTubers all the time get caught, trying to break in and all that.
Well, how crazy is it now that the government's pretty much confirmed
that UFOs are
that
real.
there's UFOs real and there's extraterrestrial life and no one gives a shit?
I have a
They don't.
That
It's
just
like,
that just tells you what kind of society we live in today.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, UFOs and aliens are real. The government's telling us or showing us videos.
and we're like,
Well,
I don't
anyway,
care.
who
Taylor
cares?
Swift
Taylor
is at
Swift
the
and Travis
fucking-
Kelce at the
Yeah.
fucking Super Bowl.
So wait,
yeah, some like dude like in Alabama with a tin hat on. I've told you so.
yeah. But back to them Swifties.
Yeah.
So hold up, this is completely off topic of what we were aiming for. So do you think, working in the Air Force, do you think that there was ever aliens at Area 51, or do you think, this is my theory, that it was like the 40s going into the 50s and 60s, and that was like the real hub of like some crazy shit's going on? Do you think it was just like us in the first generation of jet fighters where they were testing them out in the skies, and people were just like, that's faster than the airplanes I know, and now we're just like,
I don't know. Did they have, like,
I don't know,
alien
man. I'm going to
bodies?
tell you, they've shown a bunch of videos now
oh, the new ones.
of UFOs that are supposedly legitimate. That the Air Force people involved literally say, "No, we found this, and here's our video on our jet."
Shit.
So you got to think back then, maybe one did crash. I mean, I don't know. You know, of course, like anybody knows, but
Yeah.
you got to understand they have found thousands of planets out there now that they think could sustain life. We're not the only people
I like
out
that
there.
you're- I like that you're on the alien side.
But
Let's go.
yeah, like, could they come here? Like, are they more advanced technology wise to make their way here?
I guarantee there's civilizations out there that are less advanced than us and more advanced than
Yeah.
us, just depending
Or
on where.
somewhere in the middle.
Because I always
Yeah.
thought, like, if you were like really kept in the shadows in the 50s, there wasn't like social media or anything, or like anything leaking, and like you grew up like World War II era, where it's like a P-51 Mustang with fucking whatever. You look up and you see like an F4 Phantom, you're like, what is that quick thing? Holy shit, that's an unidentified flying object. But then like a couple years later, you go like, oh, that's probably just what it was. But now you're thinking something else. I like that. I like that.
I do like the fact that you pointed out, and it's pretty crazy that they all confirmed that pretty much there's UFOs.
There's some shit that even they don't know.
Yeah, and there's something. Oh yeah, we've an alien in a bunker somewhere here, and nobody's cared about it. It's like, remember like when people in the moon landing and it was at the 60s and all that, like
Yeah.
like it was a big thing. Now like when a rocket takes off in Florida, nobody gives two shits about it. Like,
Well, it's funny because I did post something that day on Facebook. Wow, look at me, Facebook warrior! But I posted something one day because they were doing those hearings for like 3 days.
Yeah.
The
Oh, the
UFO,
UFO things.
the
yeah.
UFO hearings, and they were showing these videos, and pilots were giving testimony and stuff. And I swear to you, if you go look at the news or look anywhere, you couldn't find it anywhere. And I was making a joke with people. I'm like, right now, they're literally in Congress talking about seeing real UFOs, and no one's watching or caring. Like, just think
Crazy.
about what kind of world we're living in. People are like, whatever, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's kind of funny.
But my neighbor's cats keep shitting on the lawn, and there's 40,000 people
Yeah.
commenting on that one.
On top of me thinking that was all experimental aircraft for the Air Force back then, I think that Las Vegas was actually built to keep lights on at all times so you couldn't see them doing more shit in the sky. That's all my
Yeah, that's
theory.
just one part of Las Vegas. Like,
Yeah, but Area 51's right on the other side of Henderson and the lake right there.
how far is it away from there?
It's on the other side of the Henderson
Like,
Lake.
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
how far on the other
40
side?
miles. 40
Okay.
miles.
All right.
Aircraft, they're going to fucking
I don't know.
fly
That's what
40
I'm
miles by
asking.
accident.
I find it very interesting, like UFOs and all that stuff. But like, you're right. Like, even I'm like,
Were we the aliens the whole time, Al? I've been watching a
Hey,
lot
listen,
of Twilight Zone
there
recently. I'm
there was
sorry.
a South Park episode that I swear I think it's true.
Where they were watching the Earth.
Earth was a reality,
reality
series,
show, yeah.
and French people were from a
The aliens kept
planet.
sniffing the coke and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my!
I love
father's-
South
yeah,
Park,
they
so-
had, like,
Yeah, that was funny.
I can't believe I dongled your
Yeah.
whatever. But
One of my
but
favorite
like
episodes
all
ever,
the
man.
people in the world, like all the different like German people, Italian people, French people, Black people, Spanish people, they're all different from different planets, and Earth is just they're like, let's put all these people in one area and see what happens.
With a
like-
melting pot, man.
Yeah, like it would make sense though. Would that really blow your mind if that came out to be true?
There's not much that would blow my mind anymore, honestly,
Yeah.
when it comes to that shit.
Right.
You see it all nowadays. That's the
like
thing with
why we
social
can't
media.
get along all the time is because we're really that different.
So you are official doctor?
I have my doctorate.
Okay.
So
Is it in like psychology? Because you're doing
no, it's
mental health
actually
stuff?
it's in
If we were in a bar and he was a hot chick, what would you be telling him right now?
I'm a doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah, definitely say you're a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, I was
I tell what Dr.
well, I
Hudson does.
used to see patients, and my dissertation was on medial unloader braces. I don't want to bore the hell out of your audience, but
I
it was-
would love for you to tell us what that is.
but basically what I used to do is I compared different like knee braces and determine which ones work the best and how they help patients and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
I did a lot with like orthotics, prosthetics,
That's huge
stuff
too.
like that.
That's
So-
come such a long way nowadays with
Oh yeah. So I tell people now that things exist already that are crazy. It's like they have legs now, cybernetic legs that they do surgery and they connect to your nerve endings in your spinal cord.
arms too.
And you literally have legs that you can walk around with and wiggle your toes and do everything. It's crazy.
I've seen some of
Have
the.
you played Cyberpunk, the video game?
No, the
That's
one
a
with
big
Keanu
part of it.
Reeves. I know what you're
It's
talking about.
spectacular.
Wait, is Keanu Reeves in that game?
He's in the game, dude.
He's the main
Johnny,
character.
Johnny fucking Silverhand, dude.
I did not know that. I never played a game yet. I have it on my slowly collecting dust. I don't get the chance to play many video games.
It's a real quick game, man. It only took me 210 hours to beat. Yeah,
He did it in one
real
weekend.
quick one.
I'm still.
He somehow did it in 48.
You can tell I'm in my 40s because I play Call of Duty and Madden pretty much. That's
Oh, I
why.
love that.
So you're working in the suicide prevention part of it. Do you take phone calls?
No,
from
it's
places?
it's
Stuff.
the grants program. It's called. So what
Oh.
happens is it started in 2022, and
Oh wow, so
we get $52.5 million, and we give out $750,000 grants throughout the United States to veteran organizations, all kinds of organizations to try to prevent veteran suicide. And with that money, they can do things like media, commercials, get billboards, but they can also do like houses and programs and things like that.
So you're like on a larger scale. You're not just helping one, just one.
No.
individual. You're helping out a whole groups to make. That's huge.
Well, my job is to audit those grants and make sure that they're spending the money appropriately.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what my job is.
you're utilizing the health administration degree.
Yeah, there you go.
You did it.
I know,
Someone
right?
finally
Someone,
used their
there's
degree.
someone who's using it. Yeah.
Someone used their degree. I love this.
Yeah, I just made mine up.
So I figured you were going to say that you didn't want to do the military intelligence because you had to go off the grid for 2 years because you had a great up and coming band named Berserker and you needed to promote them.
No, Berserker started about about a year ago.
Okay.
I was playing music when I was young. I was in a band in the 90s when I was in high school called Ammophilia. And we played like a whole bunch of shows around here for like 2 years.
Ammophilia?
Yeah.
Is it like someone who's addicted to
Is it-
ammo?
It's literally, we looked up a word in the dictionary and it said a fear of insects or something like some insect related thing.
Oh, it's a real
We started the band when we were in like 8th grade.
Sure.
And we literally opened the dictionary and just tried to find like a word.
That's
And
how Pearl Jam got their name.
we found Ammophilia and we just took it and ran with it. And then we actually had like a web page and everything.
Was it an
back
Angel
in the
Fire
90s? I
blog?
made the web page myself.
Oh, I love it.
Back then, you actually had to type all the HTML
it's
code and everything.
full-fledged
There wasn't.
coding.
Yeah, I
It's
used
all
to.
like black background with bright colors.
That's literally what it was. Black. I had the blood dripping down and stuff.
Of course.
It was like, because back then, if you could figure out any graphic, like
Oh,
I'm putting
yeah.
that shit on there. You know what I mean?
Fucking right.
So we had a band, and I played guitar, and it was a fun time. My brother was the singer, and then I didn't do music very much. I left for a year. One of my when I left for the military, I used to hang out with the guy Scott all the time. He was a guitar tech for Pantera,
Oh,
and he was a great guy. He knew the whole band. He used to always send me all
was
these
that when you were
pictures.
stationed down in Texas and
In Louisiana, yeah.
It makes sense because they're from that
Yeah,
area.
and I've been to their bar and everything else and all their
Shit.
different stuff. So
Is it the one in Dallas?
yeah, it's in Arlington. But yeah, it's
I'm actually going there
right-
December this year.
to their bar.
Yeah,
It's
We're
cool. We went to go
That's
visit.
it. He's not actually going there. He's just going.
We're going to Dallas.
I'll
and
be
Waco
honest with
with
you, it's a
him.
dive,
Oh,
but
perfect.
there are like
I
a bunch of
mean-
displays up of like his guitars and everything like that.
Fucking
It's a fully nude strip club,
Fucking
Oh,
right.
is it?
but all the women, I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, I don't know if
I
they,
want to.
they all
hear.
look like meth heads.
Yeah.
just gonna say. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not trying to be.
Stop drilling. You've already struck
So,
oil.
so I actually went there with my
Is that
father-in-law.
what that is?
Oh, even better.
I went there with my father-in-law.
Father-in-law. even
father-in-law.
better.
It was the best. We went to go see a Dallas
So this
Cowboys
is
Eagles
awkward.
game. We stopped there.
Oh, I love that.
But it was a pretty good time. So this guy was really cool. He's a guitar tech for Pantera. Had like 100 guitars. He used to hang out with Metallica and stuff. And I used to hang out with him and jam, and it was really cool. So I jammed a little bit with him and my friend Jake, who's in a band that tours now with like Seven Dust and stuff. They're called
Oh, wow.
they're called Degrade the Signal.
Oh, is he not in Seven Dust now? He's
No,
like, the
he's
band
in
is
he's in the
opening.
band Degrade the Signal. They open up for them. And he
Shit,
like tours
I
stuff. So
just saw Seven Dust last year. Sadly, there was no opener.
Oh well,
I wish
yeah.
it could have been.
He's played with like Soil and a couple other people.
remember them.
He's really good friends with Jamie Josta from Hatebreed. So
No thumbs.
I've actually got to meet him a few times.
Did you
and
give him
chill with him, so.
the 4-finger
Yeah,
handshake?
you know the.
He lost his thumb in a car accident.
But
It can happen.
so basically, I've still been kind of in the music world a little bit, but I you know, I was in the military doing other things, and when I came back here, I opened up my own studio, you know, Laser Shoe Studios, and
Promote the hell out of it.
I did
Wait. Where did the name Laser Shoe come from?
actually it came from my friend Ed.
Okay.
One day we were just
We
making
open up a dictionary. And pick
no
out
no no.
shoes.
So
I
my
wish I had shoes that had lasers on it, ass. That's
well,
why.
my dad's a big laser enthusiast guy. He does like laser shows, sound shows.
Okay.
He used to do
I was like, what is a laser?
he used to do
enthusiast?
stuff
Right.
back in the 80s for like a lot of bands and stuff like that. So he was
Damn, you got a good pedigree, man.
yeah, so he's always been, he has a studio, he has a whole studio thing downstairs in his basement and stuff. So one day we were just
Awesome.
joking around, my friend Ed, because my dad has like these laser gloves that he uses that are really cool. So he's like, oh, he needs to get laser shoes and stuff like that, making a joke. And then somehow it just Laser Shoe Studios. We just thought it was funny and I just ran with it. So I've recorded music for a lot of bands in town. I've done, you know, rap, country, pop, like everything, you know,
Cool.
but my band's metal, obviously. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite type of music. And I basically started saying, what happened is one of my friends, Mike Donahue, he basically got me in touch with Chris Klein, who you guys might know. He's played a bunch of shows. He played Delco Day and
Okay.
he plays in that Sons of Delco with Nick McGrath and all that.
Yes. Okay.
Well, anyway,
okay.
He plays guitar and he wanted to get us kind of hooked up to play together. And we started playing together and it just we kind of hit it off. And now we've been playing together every Thursday for like the past 2 years.
Hell yeah.
But I don't say this lightly, he's probably the best guitarist I've ever met personally. I mean,
Hell yeah.
he's like insane. So he plays like all the Dream Theater songs, everything like
Oh,
that. So he's like,
Have you
freaking
been
nuts.
Holbrook?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm no matter what type of music I do, I'm hitching my wagon to this guy.
Yeah,
like, you know
dude,
what I mean?
I know that.
So even when I do some of my poppy songs, like I have this one girl, Gina, she does a bunch of songs and puts stuff there. I even have him come and do like little guitar licks
Make him
and
like the
stuff
Steve
because-
Lukather.
Yeah,
of your
he's,
fucking
yeah, he's like
thing.
comes. I'm always like, hey Nick, you want to? Hey Chris, you want to throw like a solo in here? So anyway, we started jamming together, having a band, and we both decided that we just want to make the music. We aren't trying to make a band to get like famous or something. We just want to do the music we want to do. We like progressive metal, so we basically started playing music together. And he was friends with Nick McGrath, so he came over and tried out singing for us, and we liked him. So we just started doing a band. But the funny thing about it is, we never play because Nick is always busy with work and doing other things. My drummer Rick lives out near Coatesville. And he has 2 kids now, and he just could barely ever play. So we actually, when we played Delco Day last year, that was the only show we've ever played, and we improvised some of the show. We didn't even practice that much. We practiced like 3 times total. Because I have a studio, so whenever we record our albums, I do it separately with everyone. So we're never even in the same room together. So it's kind of crazy how that works. So it's like we were just playing music, and that Delco Day show was like
was super.
that
cool.
was like one of the greatest days. I'm trying to say, so I'm actually wearing my my Delco Day wristband still. I found it in my drawer. And just like right before I was leaving for this thing, I looked in my drawer and I'm like, there it is. And I grabbed it. I wanted to put it on just for fun, I haven't played live since I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah, not one time.
That was your reunion show. Was Delco Day?
Yeah, and so we went to play Delco Day, and I'm telling you, man,
Juice was flowing after that.
the response that we got.
Oh yeah.
When I went to the bar and I was going up to buy beers, everyone was buying me beers. People didn't even know. They're like, oh my God, you were in that band? We just heard they were awesome. I went out to get a shirt, one of those Delco Day shirts. They told me how much it costs. Came out, I said, okay. And they're like, wait a minute, weren't you just in that band that played? I was like, yeah, I was just in that. He's like, oh my God, you guys were incredible. Here, take this shirt. They gave me a shirt for free. So
Who was it so we can break their thumbs?
So I actually gave him $10.
Yeah.
As I said, I
Yeah,
said,
we
here, let me give it. But what I thought was funny is to me, I was just so impressed with the response because we played all original music. Sometimes that doesn't go over as well. When you play at a bar or something, they want to hear covers. So even the owner, I don't remember his name now, but of the bar, JT Brewskis, saw our show and he said something to me afterwards, like, if you guys ever want to come play, we normally only do original, we don't normally do cover bands, but you guys really had a response. So I just had a lot of fun playing Delco Day. And of course it was good playing early because afterwards we got to hang out all night. Like,
you guys got one of the best spots.
Well, so one of the reasons why I'm on here is I wanted to promote our show March 17th at Dolans. What we're doing.
It's going to be the 90th. Sorry, the 70th in a row, St. Patrick's Day at Dolans on actual March 17th.
What is that? What is March 17th?
A Sunday.
The Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Okay.
It is not March Madness that day.
No.
It is not.
And it is a great place to go check out
Yeah.
any time of the week, even March 17th. Dolans Bar, 24 East Sellers Avenue in Ridley Park, 19078. Great place for Quizzo, music, great times, memorabilia, giveaways, you name it, they got you. Never know who's going to walk in the door at Dolans Bar. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, he is on it. Check him out. Tell Tan PJ that Delco Live sent you. And of course, March 17th, check out Berserker there for the 70th St. Patty's Day in a row. 70th St. Patty's Day in a row at Dolans. It's a mouthful when you say it that way. And, you know, if you get a little out of control and things get out of hand, you know the man to call, David R. Jerry at 610-565-0300. Workers' comp, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law. CherryInjuryLaw.com is the website. And the phone number again is 610-565-0300. The Cherry Firm. Let Dave Cherry fight for your rights. And while you're in the slammer and wait for him to come in to get you out, you need yourself a little snack. Fat Cow Jerky. That's right. Fat Cow Jerky. Check it out. Jalapeno garlic, honey bourbon, black pepper garlic. You name it, they got it. I love pickle myself personally. They even have flavors for your favorite four-legged friends. Go to fatcowjerky.com right now. Go to Facebook and Instagram as well. Check out fatcowjerky.com as well as they are now in they just got into a store too recently. Why am I completely blanking out on the name?
I don't know. Where is it?
Why am I just blanking out? I just had it in my head too. Darn it! I'll get that name up for you guys shortly. I just completely blanked out. That was so
just edit and have it blinking.
Yeah, I'll blink it. Don't listen to this jackass.
Yeah.
But yes, they're also coming into stores as well. So go check out fatcowjerky.com.
I love that law tie-in was the best.
Oh,
He must be like loving the tie-in because I tell you right after, it's like you're going to Delco Day, you're going to get wasted. Well, here's a lawyer's number. Just
he showed up to Delco Day last year, sleeveless shirt, showing off his fucking guns. I hope he had permits for. He's got some sweet biceps.
I love it,
and he's been a great sponsor.
So yeah, we're excited about this show, and actually,
it's your second show,
the second ever. But I'll tell you that this time we're actually practicing.
Oh.
So
Holbrook better take some notes, jackass.
No, but
don't change whatever's working. Don't practice.
Well, we practice. We've literally practiced once so far.
Okay.
But we plan on practicing like 3-4 more times, and for us, that's like a shit ton.
Whoa, 3-4 times in a month?
Yeah, that's like a shit ton for us. Because as I said, we never played together. So I feel like this show, because I'm not even joking. Some of the songs last show we improvised at the ends of them, and we nailed it. I was even making jokes about it. I'm like, I don't know how we all stopped at the same time.
Yeah.
We all kind of just like looked at each other and like had cued it off.
Because it's prog rock, man. This is not fucking.
We're not playing like.
1, 2, 3, wait, what is it? What'd you call it?
Prog rock, progressive rock.
Like we play like a lot more technically complicated stuff.
I'm the least musically inclined individual. I don't know all these genres, subgenres, and subgenres.
Well, like
where you just fucking, it's not a rap beat.
Yeah, like all of our music's very technically complicated, off timing stuff like that. So it's like you can't just sit there and be like, oh, So yeah, the fact that we are playing together is great. But we're actually going to do 2 covers this time, but we're going to do all the rest are original.
Do you want to keep them secret, or do you want to tell us what they are?
We're going to do "Show Me How to Live" by Audio Slave.
Yeah, that's a great song.
And we're going to
do covers that song. What a great song! I feel like is not played enough.
Yeah. It is an interesting, and then one that a lot of people probably cover. We're going to do "Holy Diver." So.
Are you going to do the
Kill Switch version? We're actually going to do the Kill Switch. The funny thing about the covers is we want to do more complicated covers, like Dream Theater.
What is the name for
like
a cover of a cover?
Cover squared, cover cubed.
Cover cubed.
Like DC cubed.
Okay.
But the thing about doing a cover like that is we'd have to practice it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just, as I said, we don't practice much. So like Nick, our singer, he really wanted to do The Pot by Tool.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, listen, man, that song's going to take us like a while to get down and make it sound right. And I'm kind of like, it's good or bad, it kind of sucks, but I'm kind of like a perfectionist. Like everything has to be like perfect when we're playing.
As a guy who's, like I said, not musically inclined and understand, like, is it when you try to cover a song, and I guess most people think covering songs is a lot easier than creating songs, but I would imagine covering songs is very difficult on its own because you have to make it fit you and your band and your style, right? Even though
we do accept that these songs don't really fit our style as much, but hey.
And the other thing is
Delco Day, what the fuck?
I know, right?
The other thing is like people have heard the cover songs before. Like they know how they should sound. If you're messing up something super technical, you can literally just write it off and go like, "It's avant-garde." That's what we meant to do.
Yeah, no one will know. Yeah, the good thing about doing something like show me how to. Well, when you're right, when you do a
Show me how to
song,
live. The pressure's on to play it like they
you
fucking
gotta
play it.
you just play it like they play it. I always do one of two things for covers. Either you play it exactly like they play it,
Or you make it your own.
or you make it your own. But if you make it your own, like make it your own.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right,
like
right,
well, I
right,
can't
right.
stand when someone does a profession. Like it's one thing to do a cover at a show.
Yeah.
But when someone like puts out a cover, like they put out something like that's out there and it's the same as the
I
original,
agree.
and I'm like, why even do the cover?
I agree.
Like if you're gonna like my brother and I did a cover before of "Play with Fire" by Rolling Stones,
Okay.
and we did a completely different version, like an acoustic version of stuff, and I love that because I said I'm down to do this because it's so different than the original version. I can't stand when someone does a cover and it's just basically the same exact song. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you even doing it? But when you're at a concert, you want to do it exactly the same because when someone hears "Show Me How to Live," they're going to know the song, so they're going to
Yeah.
want to hear it just like it is. So I'm kind of excited about doing the covers. We haven't practiced them together yet. We will this Saturday, but everybody in the band learned them, so we
That's
should be
important.
able
Yeah,
to like
That's important.
we should be able to play together and get them. But I swear I'm not.
So you're not from the Holbrook school of just screw it, see what happens.
Well,
Or the
that's what we
Holbrook-
did in our last show. So
Or the Holbrook school of the Electric Furby, where it's just like, just pick the easiest fucking songs. Just pick the easiest songs.
well, that's kind of
Low
what we
hanging
did
fruit,
with
low
"Show Me
hanging
How to
fruit.
Live." I told Nick, our singer, I said, "You got the toughest
Easy song.
part." I said,
Oh, yeah.
"Nick has the toughest part. You got to sing like Chris Cornell." I mean, our bass and guitar riffs.
That's
are
not easy to do. Like Chris Cornell's very unique voice.
You think?
didn't know
Are you
that.
being
I didn't know that.
joking?
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
don't.
just kidding.
I was just,
You ever heard the local band Super Unknown?
oh yeah, they do the
The
Chris
Soundgarden
Cornell covers.
They
and
do.
stuff, yeah.
They do all Chris
All-
Cornell things.
I
What was
never
that
heard
one
of
band
them
we had at
before,
Delco
but-
Day?
I have no. I've seen Super Unknown maybe like 12 times now. They are fucking worth it. This dude, he's a military guy too. He's a Marine. He somehow God gifted him like Adonis like fucking looks and the voice of Chris Cornell
Oh, well, screw
and
him.
like the
I already
guitar
hate him.
playing of like fucking Kim Tile.
Oh, you're
I'm
good
like,
looking and talented.
Oh.
Fuck you.
dude, they're always
Yeah.
playing somewhere in this area. I highly fucking suggest them.
Oh, well, I got to
It's-
check them out. I like to listen to Echoes. You ever heard them? I've gone to see
Is
them
that like a
10 times.
Pink
It's a
Floyd
Pink
cover
Floyd
band?
cover band that plays around here. They're freaking ridiculous.
No.
What was the
dude.
one?
I've seen all
the
Floyd, Rip
STP
Floyd.
one that
Oh,
was.
Purple Decor.
We
Yeah.
got to get them back for Delco Day.
They wanted to do last year. They had a wedding. That's how I learned of the Super Unknown.
Okay.
Super Unknown opened for them one time, where like they were like,
I
whatever.
love that name, Super Unknown.
Well, that's the name of the
Well,
album.
yeah, the end
Yeah.
of the album, yeah.
They're doing the full album in entirety. It's the 30th anniversary of the album Super Unknown soon. But I remember like Purple Decor played or whatever, or they were gonna play, and Super Unknown comes up. I'm like, who's this? And they're like, it's Chris Cornell cover band. I'm like, oh, I was gonna fucking sound like them, and then they open with like "Burden in My Hand," which is like my favorite song. But then I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's like he never died.
Well, that's the thing. I've never been able to sing a lick, man. It stinks. I play piano, guitar,
Me neither, but
bass.
don't let it hold you
bass.
Yeah.
I-
Don't let
everything.
it-
Talent never
Guitar,
held
drums.
Holbrook back from
Don't let it
anything in
stop
his
you from
life.
Yeah.
trying for 26
But it's just
years.
it's just annoying because I play the instruments, I produce and do all that stuff, and I just can't sing at all, and it really stinks. Because anytime I write a lot of my own music, and then I'll have like various singers come over and just sing them because I can't do it. No one wants to hear me
That's
sing.
the
with me.
responsible thing to do. But have you tried just doing it and failing repeatedly like I have?
Well, once again, I'm too much of like a perfectionist, and
perfectionist,
if I
yeah.
sang, I hear myself, and I'm like, no, dude, no one wants to hear that.
Goes in the back, like starts whipping himself.
Yeah.
Bad Christian.
I can't stand listening to people say
So,
they're like off key.
You guys started.
Oh, then you don't want to.
You guys started basically out of an idea of like getting together. You knew this other dude who's like a savant on fucking guitar. Nick can sing, and you guys put it together. Didn't really jam. Put Berserk together, and you guys did have a lot of recorded music out before Delco Day.
Yeah, we had like 5 songs out before then. But as I said, over the past few months, we have barely done much. So we've only put out 2 songs in like the past 7 months. But
But you guys wrote 5 songs without like playing together much. Like
Yeah.
the drummer just like fucking put together some beats. and
so
you guys
here's
were
how
like,
it
"Let's
works.
put it on
Like
there?"
usually, what'll happen is Chris and I will write the music.
Who's
We'll-
Chris?
The
drummer?
guitarist.
Oh, the other guitarist.
Yeah. So he'll come over and we'll like over the course of a few weeks, we'll like write up music, put stuff together. Sometimes I'll even write lyrics and singing to it sometimes. But then Nick also comes over and puts his own spin on it,
Okay.
singing wise. He's our singer, does his own thing. He
And the three of
sings.
you are like local enough where you can meet up.
Yeah, they meet up.
regularly.
my friend Rick lives far away, but he has a full drum studio where he does all of his drums there and then sends them to me in a WAV file. So what I'll do is I'll send him all the tracks and then he'll work on drums. We'll get together.
You guys are zooming your band practice.
You
That's
guys are
amazing.
Pretty
a work
much,
from
yeah.
home band. I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I love it. That's genius.
So
Fuck.
so
There's
then
a business for that, I imagine.
oh, it's great. So then he sends me back everything. We put it all together. Sometimes and you know what? But I'm usually the one who puts it together and gets it out there. I do it all through my studio, and all of our music is on SoundCloud and Apple Music and everything, Spotify, whatever, YouTube, Pandora. So and we've had probably about, I mean, it's been pretty successful. We've probably had about 20,000 downloads,
Nice.
That's great.
which is pretty cool.
Harvard has 20,000 downloads, mainly on his OnlyFans page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been there. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's mostly just put together the court
It's
case
where
against me.
everybody just gets it to make themselves feel better. We know how it works.
I shame people.
It could
to
be worse.
But
So-
now it seems like we're getting somewhere though, because we're going to do this March 17th show. It was funny. This show came out of nowhere, but we were planning on doing the next
That's how
Delco
some
Day
of these
at 9.
Dolans things do. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I just end up on them and I go like, oh shit, didn't even know about that. But yay,
Well, we've been planning to do the next Delco Day since last Delco
you
Day.
guys are invited.
So I was making jokes that was going to
Hallmark,
be
we're gonna tell them they're not coming.
that was going to be our next show. So we've literally just been waiting for that. But then this thing came up, like, this would be great because we can play a show before then.
Kick
So
out
we
the
can
rocks.
we
Kick
can
off the
kind of
rocks.
like
and you can promote the Delco.
yeah, we can promote the Delco Day. So I'm really excited about it. I love playing live, and I believe now, granted, of course, who knows, it's my music, but I believe some of it's pretty cool. And I think to myself,
Not being partial or anything.
yeah, well, I know, right? So I tell everybody in the band, I say the
My
only
mom
way
says
that
I'm cute.
Yeah.
the only way we're ever going to get out there is we have to play live. No one's going to
Yeah,
go
that's it.
download your music. I mean,
Yeah.
people have, but I'm saying
Well, it's like we used to do this at our basement. What we started going live and doing things and events. It's how people go, oh, wait a minute, you guys do that? Oh, this is pretty cool. Like, yeah, you have to do it.
Live's a rough one. I'm a veteran of the whole scenes. And like it is rough because you need to not just play live, you need to get the connections with the bookers for the shows, and then
Yeah, deal with the
then you got
bookers
to
of
deal
the
with
show.
then you got to deal with everything from that. You got to draw, you got to put money in the register so they keep you coming, and then on top of that, you got to make friends within the scene and hope that they keep coming out, and then you got to go support them, and it becomes like a second fucking job if you want to do it right. But
yeah, we never really got into all that, but to me, it was just the reception that we got after Delco Day
Yeah.
and the way when we played.
Well, we make stars at Delco.
You know, there you go, right?
I mean,
We're taking
it
partial
happens.
credit for this.
It happens.
It just blew my mind because it's one thing when you're making all this music yourself in your studio and you're like, oh, but when you're out there and everyone's bobbing their head and jumping around and singing along, it was such a cool experience. And
You guys are heavier stuff. Too.
yeah, we're
Like-
pretty heavy.
Like I just from knowing Nick McGrath and things he's done, I expected it to be like,
Not
like
poppier,
a
but
Stones cover
yeah,
band
yeah.
or like Friendly Rock, and then I think it was either you or someone else like whips out a fucking headstockless like 7-string and starts tuning to like a gent fucking riff, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, we use all
The
7.
bottles are gonna be rattling.
Yeah, we do all 7-string
second
guitars
Delco
and
Day
5-string basses.
It is 7 strings.
7-string
Oh,
guitars
see,
and
I wasn't
5-string
that drunk.
basses.
It's
And my Rick's drum set when he's up there was like it's freaking like 20 pieces. So you got to be we had to set up really fast for Delco Day, like as quick as possible. Like
Which
10
is
people
weird
out of
because we do give everyone like 45 minutes to set up.
we just had so much shit. But this
Yeah.
time we're the first band.
Oh, you mean at Dolans?
No,
Yeah.
we had trouble at Delco Day, but I said, but this time at Dolans,
Dolans will
we're
be
the first band.
I was thinking
3 o'clock.
So
So
you guys are gonna have a prime slot, I think.
well, if I just bring my family, Jesus, it's probably like 100 people. I have a Delco family.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you guys will probably be the same. If I had to guess, probably the same slot you guys had
around
last
yeah,
year,
right
right
around
before
yeah.
Electric Furby. Who I'll ask them if they want to be part of it. I think I might know guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I can do without them this year. I'm just saying
Yeah,
they weren't
it's-
that good, to be honest with you.
It's funny you talk about Nick and the
Yeah.
type of music. Nick and I always have like this back and forth because he always wants to do like alternative rock songs
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all come up with stuff.
Y100.
Nothing wrong with that. But finally, I just said, listen, Nick, man, when Chris and I started this band, we literally said to ourselves, we're doing like progressive metal. It's the kind of shit we like. We're going to like play heavy ass music, make it really technical. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, I hate to be like that, but I don't want
Hey
to be
Nick,
like
get off or
shit or
on
get off the pod, right?
get on or get
No.
the fuck off.
No, but actually the most recent song we did, Broken, that we put out there, he he wrote a lot of that song, most of it actually, and it's a rockier song, but we put our own spin on it. And I love it. I like it a lot. So
So will there be debuting new music?
yeah. So actually, there's
Debuting live, I should say.
yeah. So we're doing 2 new songs that are originals, and then all of the originals we did last time, and then we're gonna do 2 covers. So we are doing 3 more songs than we did when we were there last time. So, but our entire discography with the covers is like 45 minutes of music. So it's not
Wow.
That's
really
all you
that-
need.
It's,
Especially
yeah,
for like
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Like, but we're not trying to be up there for like hours. You know, no one wants to hear that unless we're like Tool or something. You
So
know what I mean?
just from like just being in the scenes and all that shit, like I think what you guys are doing is actually fucking brilliant because you were talking about alternative and like back in the day it was like you had your mainstream rock, your whatever, and then there was the alternative rock, all that shit. Right now, the mainstream rock is like that butt rock, no offense, MMR, but like the butt rock MMR bands. But that secondary scene,
What
the
is
ones where
butt
you
rock?
have to actually go looking for it, is more that heavier kind of gent stuff. Like that is like the secondary market, which is not a bad one to get into because it's niche and it goes around.
Well, as a casual music guy, doesn't know all the, like I said, genres, subgenres, and all that. But like listening to WMR, listening to other rock stations, and even like on your iPhone where it has like the rock station, things that they, because of all, I think the subgenres kind of hurt a little bit because the things that they put in there don't really belong in there in my eyes, like as a rock.
MMR, a lot,
Or even like I said, iPhones have like Apple Music and
Yeah.
Google and Amazon, and they have their radio stations. They call them like things that fall in there when you're listening. I'm like, it's kind of borderline.
it's a lot of the main stuff that you're gonna hear like on the radio or whatever that's like metal, like mainstream metal, is literally the perfect way to say it is if this was an acoustic guitar, it'd be a fucking country song. Like it's just copy and paste generic stuff.
Yeah.
But there is that secondary thing. Like I've seen plenty of bands like that like go and play Wells Fargo and only put a couple thousand people in there, but like the stuff you're playing, I've seen like there's a diehard following in not even the underground where you have like your parkway drives and shit where people will travel states to fucking fill up a venue to see them. Like because those are the ones who are diehard because they're looking for it. Like
yeah.
and if it's
Well,
good,
yeah, I
it's
feel
good.
like when it comes to progressive rock and stuff, it's almost like some people just don't get in, don't like it at all, or
Yeah.
you're like in love with it. You're
Yes.
like it's the type of music you listen to. It's funny you talk about WMR. I never listened to the radio. I listen to like my own stations I create. But I've been listening to WMR a lot the past week because about every other commercial break
They're pushing you.
they do a promo for this show, and we're mentioned, and we're
What, Dolans?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And we're the first band mentioned. So they start talking about it. And the way they say our band name's awesome because they're like featuring live music from Berserker. And they do it like that. I'm always like, yeah. So I started listening to it, but just so I could hear the commercial. I'm like, that's us.
Yeah.
Yes. I have 3 daughters.
You'll deal with the 11 fucking songs from Rival Sons beforehand to fucking hear your
It's the
name.
one time you're listening to the radio and you're like,
For the
when's the
commercial.
next commercial coming on? I don't even
Yeah.
care about the music. And I have 3 daughters, so it's like when they played it last time, like, girls, come here, listen. Like, there I am. They're like, wow, you're famous. I'm like,
That's
I know, I am
awesome.
famous, aren't I?
We'll get them.
That's a little famous.
I mean, I guess I was joking around with them before I left for this. I was like, if you guys want my autograph or something, I'll give you a couple signed pictures up for free.
You give it up to your friends if you want.
We'll get them to mention
nowadays.
you guys for Delco Day too, because they do it every year. They will never acknowledge the existence of Delco Live. I guess it's because it's another media group, or whatever.
technically,
But they will
rival.
always promote the event under its name and the acts.
Yeah.
They were always really good with that.
Well, I actually did a one-on-one interview with Brent Porch and WMR about a year ago. I have it out there.
We gotta get those guys out because they are Delconians.
Damn straight, yeah.
Brent is
Casey Boy
is another one too, I think. Not Mar.
Have you so you're playing
Marissa?
with
Is it Marissa?
maybe you're playing with Walt Lafty on.
Yeah.
Yo, he's fucking entertaining. You can tell like he was like he still is, but like he was a fucking rock star. His stories are fucking golden. His songs they're like serious, but they're also like will keep you interested as like a storytelling. And they're funny. Sometimes they're funny too. He's a pleasant fucking treat, man.
Yeah, it was it should be fun. As I said, I love the fact that they were just talking about us on the radio and all that shit. So yeah. But I had that interview. What's that?
Have you ever been to a show at Dolans?
Yeah.
Out back?
Yeah, I've been
That's
there.
fucking rad, dude. It's one of the coolest places.
It's a cool little venue. So I have a question for this. Are they going to keep it the same setup? Are they going to open up the parking lot, or what are they going to do? Because there's going to be a lot of
At
people
Dolans?
there.
Yeah.
They usually do the
I
parking
would
lot.
think they'd probably keep it the same way, but people just pack in behind it.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people. I can tell you that.
Fucking A.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this interview with Brent Porsche like a year ago, and it was really cool, man. That the article's still out there. I look at it sometimes.
About Berserker.
About Berserker, yeah, and
Okay.
all the stuff we were talking about earlier with like
You guys were played in outer space.
So what happened was is they
that's why you're talking about UFOs.
so they did well. I'm really
This is his first live music.
well. My dad is actually really into all that stuff. He's part of like the Mars Society and does like the Mars Ambassador stuff. He has like a he's into all that stuff and knows all those people. So what happened
Mars
is
Ambassador, huh? That's pretty cool. What is that?
well, so he actually owns land on Mars.
Oh, really? He's like
Yeah.
buying stars.
He buys a whole bunch of land on it. You got to think about it like this:
This how Avatar started.
Mars is going to be colonized within the next 30 years. That's not my opinion; it's a fact. Like there will be people living there.
Who do you buy the land off then?
If
Nobody's up there to own it.
I'd have to ask him. I mean, people. He
Like
owns.
that's my point. Like
The Illuminati out.
I feel like I could
No,
like,
there's
hey guys,
actually
I'm selling Mars land. Come on over.
there's actually
$8
a
an
whole
acre.
there's actually a whole society that talks about that works on like jurisdiction in space and like where does like for instance like the United States, is our jurisdiction up into space like all the way through? Like it's a very big thing that people talk about a lot. I'm not an expert on it. He would know a lot more about it than me.
Maybe
But-
he'll come on the show. We could talk to him all about this.
Oh,
This would
he
be a
could.
fun
He knows
show.
all about space, like all that
We
stuff.
need to book his dad for a
Oh,
show,
Yeah.
too.
You and your dad would get along.
Oh,
with
and he has a
DJ
bunch of stories
real
back from
well.
the '80s. He knows
Yeah,
Neil Schon from Journey, Michael
Oh,
Jackson,
yeah,
Madonna, and shit.
actually,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Even that whole aspect.
Yeah.
I think the next round we should have his dad and PJ on the same episode.
That would just be. I'm taking mushrooms for it.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely taking mushrooms for it.
I'm not kidding. Like seriously, we
'Cause
got
PJ's like into that shit too.
So that he had one of his buddies who was doing the speakers on the rover, the Mars rover that was up on Mars.
The one that died sadly, and like sent
Well,
the distress signal and said, "I'm dying and I'm cold."
This was the second one.
Oh.
So that isn't up
Maybe
there.
there's 2 people died, or
No, not. I'm
The
talking
rover.
about the
Oh,
rover.
the rover.
The
Oh,
second
okay.
rover.
The
I was
robot
like, oh,
became
geez.
self-aware to know
So
it was
what
dying.
was going to
Wow.
happen? What was going to happen is they had these speakers that they were going to test on Mars to play music and just to see how it kind of worked and everything like that. And they just needed a bunch of original music to play. My dad knows the guy.
were they afraid of Martians with
So
copyright?
we
something?
wrote a song called Perseverance, which is to this day our most popular song. And it's about the Perseverance rover.
Mhm.
And it's literally the song's about like going to Mars and shit. So they took that song and they were going to play it on Mars. They did an interview with us. We had articles and stuff. Well, it ended up a couple months later, all the funding fell through and it didn't happen. So I still talk about it sometimes. I thought it was so cool at the time, but it never actually happened. So,
in
it's
our world, it did happen, and it was great.
yeah,
And
the
I'm
aliens
going
loved
to
it.
say it was awesome.
it was great.
Yep,
Yeah, I'll just keep it at that. It
Oh,
was
man.
played on Mars. The
Listen,
aliens
I live
loved
a
it.
life of just
No, you
stuff I
did.
made up in my head. Why the hell would I change now?
But the
you did it.
article
You
that
guys
we're-
did
Ask
it.
my wife.
There's an article though, if you ever look up, it's called Delco, a band to play on Mars. It's still out there.
Yeah,
With
that
us.
was on MMR, right?
Yeah.
That was on
That's
the
all you
website.
need is the
That's all I
headlines.
need, baby.
Trust me.
Even if it's not true anymore, I'm like, yeah, we're that band on Mars.
I mean, you can go to a bar and go like, I'm a doctor and my band played on Mars.
and I was on the Delco Live podcast. You might have heard of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, if that doesn't
Yeah.
get their pants wet, just move on.
I
That
know,
will
right?
get you kicked out of certain bars in this area.
So, like, is that with Holbrook? Hollywood Holbrook? I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. He's
He's still, that Hollywood still owes money here.
Yeah. Tommy owes us $1,000 in bar tabs. Let's go.
It's funny they had to call in NASA to figure out how much I owed in some of these bars.
So yeah, you will be at Dolans March 17th. What time?
We play at 3 p.m.
Oh.
We're the
You got
first
the
show.
first up,
The first show.
so you get all morning to set up your.
It's awesome. And plus, we kind of did it on purpose because what's supposedly happening is Brent Porsche is going to go up on stage before the show starts. He's doing like an introduction thing.
Oh my
And-
god, NSC Pesci, I keep fucking forgetting.
and
that.
it's going to be on the radio station, and then we're the first band up. So we decided that, hey, that might be cool. You never know, like they might, if he gives an introduction and stuff, they might play some of it.
Wait,
Who knows?
what?
And so we decided to play. We normally open with this one of our songs called the Berserker. It's
You
called the
normally
Berserker.
open the one show you played on.
The one show. Well, we've been
It's
planning
1 for 1.
Yeah.
with the show.
100% of the time.
100% of the time. Well, the show, our set is kind of written a certain way. Like the Berserker has like a long like an intro, like a build up.
So it's a
It's like
concept album
it's
live.
it's like an opening intro, but then we decided to open with Perseverance instead, since it's our quote unquote best song, because we figured, hey, if he's introducing, we might as well open with our best song.
Yeah,
so
Oh,
that way,
go out swinging.
if someone's playing it, you know what I mean? Like we
Especially if
come out,
aliens are listening.
yeah, we come out swinging with that. So, and it's kind of cool. A lot of people in the crowd are like my family and friends, so they know the song, and the song has a lot of harmonies. So like Nick can't do the harmonies because he's singing by himself. So a lot of times you can even hear it on our last show when you watch the video, is the crowd singing the harmonies. So it's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
So
It's awesome when other people, even though it's your family, it still makes it awesome.
it's cool if they know the song. Like sometimes my daughters be walking around the house like humming one of my songs. I'm like, hey, there you go.
You ever try to do a harmony and the singer pushes you live on stage?
What?
Like singing a harmony?
Oh, well, Nick always tries to get me to sing,
Okay.
but I'm always like, no. He's
So
like,
you've never done it?
no.
Okay. I have literally been pushed off a microphone on stage multiple times.
Well, I would be if I started. So believe me.
Purposely.
Purposely. Well, Nick's always trying to get me singing on the songs. He's always like, "You could sing. You have a decent voice." I'm like, Nick, I promise you, I don't. Like, I'm not. I'm just telling you. Like,
He does that weird thing where he hits notes and shit and stays in key. So I don't
yeah,
Freak.
no
thinks,
one
thinks he's better than us.
What a weirdo.
Nick's a cool guy though.
Oh,
I
dude,
don't
he's
know.
super fucking rad, dude. He is he is so shit. Does he only work Friday nights at Dolans?
I have no clue.
Okay, I know he.
Was
Am
it?
I wrong?
Wait,
So
was
you
it the wifey
Saturdays?
or him? I forgot.
Well, Nick is the only guy in the band that like I don't really know that well. Like we see each other.
We don't really like him that much.
Yeah, no, right now I'm just kidding. we see each other when we play. Like we
Yeah.
don't like hang out. Like Rick, our drummer, has been my friend like my whole life, and Chris now, as I said, we jam like every week and we chill and talk and stuff. So Nick is kind of like the guy like I only see like once every few weeks or so when he has to record like a.
Well, I
vocal
bet
line or
he's better in
something.
small doses anyway.
So wait,
Yeah.
he's the
That's
singer,
great.
but your big song is about Mars and the Perseverance rover. Did you write the lyrics, or did he become an expert in NASA just to put it together?
Actually, it's a good thing you asked that question because
I asked a good question.
because-
Write it down.
Right now.
because my daughter was
question.
actually trying to make sure I gave her a plug. So my oldest daughter's 15. She actually wrote some of the lyrics to the song.
Oh, okay.
And she did this. She wrote a poem one time that I really liked, so I used those lyrics for the song. And she made.
Oh, you're a good dad too.
So when I was leaving today, she's like, "Make sure you tell them that I wrote some of one
How
of
old's
your
your
songs."
daughter?
15.
Okay.
She's my oldest. I have a
Yeah.
15-year-old,
You gotta make good
an
dad
11-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So.
Yeah, because I have once they after right about now, right about that 16 years old, she's gonna hate you for the next 5 or 6 years.
Well, she's
Maybe even longer.
been
Oh,
like
so
that
she
since
needs
about
money.
11, but she
Okay,
still wanted me.
I was gonna
She
say.
still wanted me to plug her in here. But yeah, that was one of the songs. Like this is how it kind of works. Is I'll write a song and have idea for lyrics and how it should be sang, but I always feel that the best written songs are done when like you take everybody's ideas. Like I always tell people, yeah, I can write an entire song myself. I've done it many times,
You're a
but
better person
it's
than
never
me.
going to be as good as if someone else is coming and giving input. So the good thing about Nick is he'll come sometimes and he'll be like, well, actually, I was thinking about doing this for this one part. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. So so when I say who wrote the song, it's like we all wrote it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of
You
those
make
things where
tweaks to it.
we all
yeah.
put in tweaks. I think that's one of
Especially
the,
coming from different backgrounds, it can always help.
yeah, well, it's kind of funny that we all like different kinds of like music
Mm-hmm.
really and do different stuff, and I think that makes you a lot more successful as you put a lot of stuff. I play piano too. I don't play piano at the shows. I play bass, but on the albums I play piano and some backup guitars. I even do backup vocals on one song,
What you
Yeah.
do?
even though I don't sound, but you can't really tell because it's like I use it to harmonize in the
So
background.
Berserker, your guitar in the studio, bass live.
Well, Chris does like 95% of the guitar.
Oh, and you play.
I
bass
play
primarily.
all the bass and all the piano.
Do you ever miss playing the guitar live?
I used to miss playing guitar until I heard Chris play, and I literally joked around with people because a lot of people think I'm a good guitarist. I'd be like, "Why aren't you playing any guitar? You're so good, quote unquote." I'm like, "Listen, man, why would I play guitar
Yeah.
when Chris is around? That's like I'm on a basketball court and I'm like, why don't I take the final shot when like Michael Jordan's right next to me? I'm like, why don't I just pass him the ball and let him take
And also
it? You know
because
what I
it
mean?
arms you with a really good bassist too. Like
Yeah, well, and that's another
Yeah.
thing. I'm starting to get. I never really got into bass. I was always a guitarist, but man, I am starting to get so into bass. Like
Yeah.
my goal when we write a song is I want to make all the bass lines like really interesting. I don't just want to be doing root notes
you
like
just want to fucking
dun,
be a finger
dun,
follower.
dun, dun, doing like
Yeah.
root notes. I want to be doing like I do bass solos and stuff in the songs. I like to do like I use a 5-string, so I like to have like all this crazy stuff in there because I basically I tell them when we do, I tell Chris Harvey, I want it to be like guitar porn.
Okay.
Like I want you to
I'm
listen.
hard.
I want you to listen to our music and be like, damn, did you hear that solo? Like I want people to like be like, holy shit, like what the fuck is that? Like you know what I mean?
Hey.
All right,
But-
real quick, because there's always a question I have to ask before you.
Okay.
I really need to know this, and it's more of a survey. In the band, who's the craziest, weirdest dude in the band?
100% Nick.
Okay, I'm usually
That seems like an easy. That seems
no, but my
easy,
question I ask that because usually it's the drummer. I usually go with the
Fuck that.
No,
Usually
Rick-
The drummer's the problem.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Well,
saying usually the craziest, weirdest dude is the drummer.
Rick is the exact opposite of that. He's like a 2 daughters at home family man who's an engineer who barely ever leaves the house because he works from home.
Every time I talk to a band, like we did interviews for like Delco Day and before Delco Day for the last 9 years, we would try to do that to like kind of promote it. And like I would always ask that question, and I would say about 90% of the time, the weirdest guy,
I could see
the
that.
flakiest guy, the
Flakiest is usually the
the
drummer.
disruption is usually the drummer.
Well, if it were about 20 years ago, it would have 100% been me. How much of that? But
Okay.
I was kind of a party animal back in the day, but now I've calmed down a lot. I'm in a weird situation in Delco because I don't know any of the bars and all that stuff like everyone else does. Because as I said, I left for 15 years. So
Yeah.
everyone's like, "How come you don't know all the bars in Delco? You've lived your whole life." I was like, "Remember,
Holbrook's got memorized.
during my formative
Like a
years of
Sherpa.
drinking, I was all over the place. I wasn't here, so I don't know any of
Yeah.
that shit." People are like, "Why don't you meet me at this bar?" I'm like, "Where's that?" Like, "How do you not know?" I'm like,
I just don't. Just
I
tell me
just
where the hell it is. Stop being
That's
an
a
a-hole.
great thing for the bars because now they think new customer.
Yeah, and here's the other thing is it's 2024. Nobody knows where anything is. You just put it in your phone and
Oh,
it
that's-
tells you.
that's how I got here. I mean, I
Yeah.
just
Well, yeah. And it always brings you to whatever reason for the street down here on Franklin. I don't know why it does that.
no, it actually took me right here.
Did it?
Yeah.
Some phones people are like, they're like, we're on Franklin right here. I don't know why it told us to turn here, but it did.
I didn't know where to go, and I'm walking by, and I hear people talking in here. I'm like, "This is probably the
Yeah, we're
place."
getting a sign put out up there and better lighting. 'Cause we're the only ones here when it's dark. So like it gets really the light out there sucks.
So, where can people find Berserker?
Well, they can look on. I would say just you type in Berserker, and we're on every streaming service that exists, pretty much.
You guys are the main Berserker that comes up.
Well, there's like 5 bands. A lot of times it's good to type in a song. So we have like I always just say Perseverance or Wouldn't It Be Something or something. Just type in a song name. But if you look at my shirt, when you type in Berserker, it shows like 4 bands. We're this symbol. So there you go.
What is this symbol based off of? Like Venom or like?
No, it's based. This is actually a Berserker Viking symbol.
Oh, that's
So a lot of us in the band were into like all that,
Nordic stuff.
Yeah. So we kind of just went.
We call him
that way.
Thor. He is like 6 foot.
Well,
5.
the last
could
thing
be
I'll say, I know
Delco-
we
you
know
could
we're
be
running low
Delco
on time,
Thor.
but I wanted to say for the band name, I basically let them pick and said I don't give a shit. So you know why?
You should have called yourselves the I don't give a shit
I think we should have called ourselves
Or-
Delco Berserker, so it'd be easier to find. I'm
or
not even
no-
making a joke.
or no shits given.
Well, you got to understand, like with all the band name, every band name sucks.
Yeah.
There's not a good band name that exists. People are like, oh, what about like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin? Everything is just dumb. The Who, like no one. It's like Berserker is a weird name when you first hear it, but then it's like, well, if we ever became famous,
Yep.
no one would ever be like Berserker is a weird name. They're like, oh yeah, Berserker. Like
Makes sense.
why don't we be Korn? We'll make it with a K and we'll put the R backwards. That'd be so cool. We'll
And
call
it worked.
we'll call ourselves Stain, but we'll just put a D at the end.
Limp
It'd be fucking awesome.
Bizkit with a C.
Exactly. So it's like I just said, who cares what our band name is? Pick anything. They're like, how about Berserker? I'm like, whatever.
I still think Spank Bank is the greatest name band of all time.
I do like Spank.
They're a great name.
All right,
Kicked off
so
a couple shows today.
check him and the rest of Berserker at Dolans on the 17th of March. We all know that St. Patty's Day. Check him out 3:00 spot.
Yep.
And also in June, Delco Day.
If you're
Hell
available
yeah.
on June 1st.
Yeah, June 1st. Check it out. Delco Day 9. Holbrook loves how I say it that way.
It's just so angry coming from.
All right, Delco Day 9. So check it out. We'll see you guys and check them out on all the streaming services. And we'll catch you guys next time.